Okay, rolling. Long time no see, everyone. And since this has been a bit of an unusual year for all of us, I figured I'd address you in an unusual, maybe new kind of way. First of all, I'd like to wish you all a happy Christmas. I hope you're all able to be with the ones you love, and if not, that you still found a way to get in touch with them and say hello or Merry Christmas to them. Now, this year has shown me that life doesn't go as expected. In fact, it rarely does, even when we don't have a scary virus destroying us. Personally, it has taken me on a wild roller coaster ride. Early on in the year, I was fortunate enough to go on a wild trip through Europe with a friend for Olympus. The excuse being that the camera that we had was a teleportation device, and with each push of the button, I was teleported to a new extreme environment. The campaign and short film were one of my biggest successes of the year. Not only did a friend and I get paid to travel to all these amazing locations, we got to snowboard and be silly. We also got to live out our creativity, and that was amazing. This is really rare for a client project, so thanks Olympus again for letting me be, I guess, me. Shortly after that, though, everything went crazy. In a space of a week, several planned projects throughout the year and trips, everything was cancelled. Botswana, Faroe Islands, Tajikistan, Norway, and who knows what other places my camera would have taken me to in 2020. They were all scrapped off the calendar. For someone like me who's worked their entire career to make travel a profitable business, this was quite a slap in the face. And when a person who turned the passion into a career or into a job becomes jobless, it can be really scary. And I won't lie to you, it was crazy at the beginning. I didn't know where things would go. So like many others, I had to reimagine myself at this point. So what do you do if you can no longer travel as a creative? Well, you get creative about it, right? So we turned this situation into a short film. The quarantine, you might have seen it. So I was stuck at home, so I decided to film a short film inside my home about a photographer who loses his mind because he's no longer able to travel because of some virus stopping him from leaving his house. Kind of sounds familiar, right? I didn't have to go too far for that story. But close to 5 months it took me to pick up my camera again for a paid job. So luckily, all the taxes we pay in Belgium, which, is enough, saved me as the government rolled out a support project that allowed creatives like myself to get through these crazy times. 12 years ago, I left a school here in my hometown, just over the hill here, where I spent 6 years goofing around with my friends, having some of the best times of my life. I still happily look back at those times. And I think I learned a thing or two as well, but logically, when a school like that approaches you and asks if you want to make the promotional film for the future students, of course you say yes. And even if you consider yourself a world-traveling wildlife, nature, landscape, adventure filmmaker and photographer, you name it, in a way I owe my career to this school. And I kind of want the kids that decide to go to the school in the future to make their own life. So naturally, I said yes to making the short image film. And it seems like I owe the rest of this year to this school as well, since this image film was a great success and the word spread around my local area. And I started picking up more local work. And beyond that, we also did lots of passion projects. I finally got to network with so many creatives, with singers, dancers, actors, photographers, filmmakers, sound designers, artists, you name it. And working with or for old friends, the local tourism board, with construction companies, all kinds of people and companies in the area wasn't how I had planned 2020 to go. But hey, I can't complain. I still get to be creative. And somehow I turned the last 4 months of 2020 into the most profitable and diverse of my life. So to me, it goes to show that if you're open to change, you can embrace it and turn it into something exciting and new. Well, this entire spiel here sounds like I've had the best year of my life. I don't think that's not entirely true. And what I want to take out of it is that I simply believe that I choose to make the most of it. And yes, I was lucky along the way, but more importantly, I think it's due to the being positive. It's due to being real about the situation you find yourself in. Most importantly, it burns down to the people seeing my work locally, internationally, online, wherever. It's you. So following along or discovering me and my work along the way, without you, without an audience, and without the people who care, this or any other year for that matter wouldn't work. It wouldn't be possible. So I owe you a thank you. Thanks for listening, for watching, for reading, for just being there. It sounds so cheesy, but it's so true in every way. So thanks for the most valuable asset of yours, which is your time. And on that note, I kind of want to look into the future a bit. I would like to talk a bit about next year's adventures, because next year I'd like to attempt to turn things back to normal. You see, shooting promotional films for schools or construction companies or whatever it may be versus crazy adventures at 6,500 meters or lions in Africa. I still live with a preference, and I'm not putting that preference aside anytime soon. So for 2021, if circumstances allow for it and if it's safe to do it, then I'd like to have my own adventures, and I would love to have adventures where you can join me. I'd like to invite you along the way. So yeah, join me to new places, new adventures, new journeys, not only through the screen that you're looking at right now, but maybe also in real life. I just put on a whole series of workshops on my website. I've pushed them towards the second half of the year, hoping that things develop in a positive way, considering the situation we find ourselves in right now. And join me on an adventure photography workshop. You can join me to the classic, the Faroe Islands, a place I've been to 6 times now. Live the remote life on a tiny island, capture the epic sea cliffs and landscapes of the Faroes. Go into this extreme weather, hear about the Viking tales and the legends. Or you could join me to Central Asia, a place that's seemingly unknown on the map, to the Pamir Mountains in Tajikistan. You can come with me and stay with real nomads in yurts, or go places no other people have been before, very, very few. And we'll spend 2 weeks on a road trip to one of the remotest places on the planet. Also one of the bumpiest road trips, I have to say. We'll spend most of our time above 4,000 meters above sea level in Tajikistan, or come see and capture the northern lights, take a polar plunge, stay in a northern cabin, camp on a beach, and capture the wild landscapes that is the Lofoten Islands. Find out more on my website. If you want to join me on an adventure, please check out the link in the description. Again, thanks so much for sticking around and following along. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, here's to a better 2021 and to more adventures in real life. So yeah, check out the website. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.